Democratic base of support, like the overwhelming majority, the super majority of the Democratic base of support, actively advocating for things that I've been saying and yelling about for years. Get to work, Democrats, right? And the Dems are just going, la, 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 I can't hear you.
Joined now by national political correspondent Steve
Okay, I need to explain something to you guys. Even if they are literally the most violent criminals you have ever seen in your entire life, you still can't deport them without a court hearing. That is insane. You can't do that because this is not about the individual scary migrant. This is about the entirety of the court system and the reasons for why it exists. You can't trust me, bro, as a means of deportation. That makes no sense. Because if they can do that now for people that they are claiming without any sufficient evidence and no actual court orders, and the only court order basically being the exact opposite, they can do that to anybody. So this conversation that's taking place is not even about like the immediate Venezuelans or the immediate El Salvadorans that were deported. It's even broader than that.
Aki here to break down our brand new NBC News poll on the president's first 50-plus days back in office. Always good to see you, Steve. So here we are, 8 weeks in. President Trump, voters responding to some of his policies. What do the numbers tell you about where the president stands right now?
Yeah, it's interesting, Craig. A lot of activity these past 2 months. Here's the approval rating for Donald Trump in our new poll. 47% of voters say they like the job he's doing. Now, put this in some context because I think this is the interesting part. Historically, these are all the modern presidents at this point, after just coming to office. Obama, George W. Bush. You can see at the bottom of the list would be Donald Trump at 47%. So historically speaking, this is low. However, if you compare it to Donald Trump's first term in 2017, this is actually about as good as Trump has done, a 47% approval rating in our poll. Also, what it suggests is that since the election, he hasn't grown his support, but that coalition that elected him still for right now does seem to be with him.
Hasn't lost the support either. What do the numbers tell us, Steve, about what's working for the president and where he may be a little vulnerable?
Yeah, what's keeping that, giving an opportunity to grow it? This would be number one. Border security, immigration, majority approval for Trump here, 55%. That goes beyond his base, who like how he's handled this. There's the big issue of the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk, Doge, they call it. We ask folks, good idea, bad idea. Plurality say good idea. So those may be working in Trump's favor overall. This isn't. The economy, inflation, two issues obviously that powered him to the White House. His approval rating on the economy, 44%. Inflation, just 42%. Majority.
Dude, this to me shows that these guys are incapable of seeing what's in front of them too. Like his support hasn't even diminished on the issue of the economy, as the economy has continued on the same trajectory, if not gotten worse. And these guys are not like, these guys aren't even being like, yeah, no, things are still bad.
Disapproval on both. And I'll tell you, in his first term, the economy was his one strong suit in polling. And right now, these are some of his worst numbers. Economy, inflation, two very important issues to Americans.
Have Democrats been able to capitalize at all on either one of these, the economy or the inflation?
Yeah, so logic would tell you if something is going south for the president politically.
No, they have not. No, they have not. Part of the problem with what's going on with Trump's approval rating and how unshakable it seems is because there's no counterbalance against it. There is no response coming from the Democratic establishment that actively communicates why people are feeling this harm and how Trump is their lives over. It's great. Wonderful stuff overall.
It should help his opponents, and yet take a look at this. We ask folks their opinion of each party. It's not great for either one, positive or negative, but holy smokes, look at this, 27-55. They are 28 points, the Democrats, underwater on this, more negative than positive. And put this in context, the history of our NBC poll asking about the two parties. This negative 28 for Democrats is the worst ever recorded, and this is what's happened since the election. It's just fallen off a cliff for them.
The worst ever recorded?
Yes, for a party in our poll. Yep.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch.
It is not surprising that the Democrats are this unpopular. It is, however, surprising that they did not even choose to change trajectory a little bit. Like they did not even turn around and go, hey, maybe we should listen to what the left is saying about how much we suck. Nope. Time to be more do nothing Dems. They can't even be, bro, they can't even fake it anymore. Like, at least during the first, they faked it. They faked being angry in an effort to like fundraise and stuff. Now you can't even get them to fake it. It's crazy. Oh, what? I already finished the thread. There's a Harry Enton on the CNN poll. There's a Harry Enton CNN poll as well on how unpopular the Democrats are.
Say, Democrats, call your office. You know, we're March Madness times. Terrible, terrible, terrible. To quote the great Charles Barkley, view Democratic Party favorably. CNN SRS, look at this, 29%. NBC News, you want to go lower than that? How about 27%? Both are record lows, the lowest going back to 1992 in CNN polling, the lowest going back on record to 1990 in NBC News polling. The majority of Americans hold an unfavorable or negative view of the Democratic Party at this point. All I can say is I'm a big fan of the oldies, so I'm going to quote Chubby Checker, how low can you go?
Nice. Well done. With that, what about congressional Democrats specifically?
Yeah, what about congressional Democrats specifically? You think these numbers are low. How about this one? Holy Toledo. Voters' views of the Democrats in Congress among all voters disapprove, 68%. And look at the approved number, just 21%, even lower than the Democratic Party at large. This is the lowest on record for Democrats, according to Quinnipiac University polling. You think these numbers are bad? Let's go to this side of the screen. We'll look how...
I hate to say I told you so. First of all, Mike, you don't hate to say I told you so. You love saying it. But also, I didn't predict anything opposite of this. Like, yes, I'm familiar with the lack of interest from the Democratic Party. I said that it wasn't going to turn into fucking hashtag resistance liberalism like it did last time. And that, yes, people would honestly be even more frustrated as a consequence of this. The difference that you and I have, the difference in opinion that you and I have on this matter is that I'm not so confident that the Democratic Party is going to give way to a third party at all, and they're going to use whatever like remainder of the infrastructure they have to actively destroy third party initiatives, third party moments. So, I don't think that we're out of this yet. You know, I don't think that we're out of this at all. I don't know. I don't know how we get out of this to begin with, but like, yes, I am also aware and said that this was most likely going to happen, and it is happening. The problem is, I don't even know how to get out of this. Like, I don't know how to get out of this situation with or without the Democratic Party. We're fucking cooked. Like, decentralized movements are not always they're not going to be successful. That's one aspect of this conversation. We have... this is like the Democratic Party is weaker than it's ever been. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to launch a third party initiative. And without any sort of popular momentum from a well-established figure outside of the confines of the existing duopoly, that still gets like a warm reception from the pre-existing duopoly, like a Bernie Sanders figure who is entirely too old at this point. The Democrats third party initiatives will be foolhardy and will go the way of the Green Party. In any case, I've been saying this over and over again. Like, the Democrats are slowly but surely refusing to listen to the wishes of the largest subgroup of voters at this point. Like, they're basically treating everyone now like they did during the campaign if you were like in any way, shape, or form anti-genocide, where they were like, la, 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 I don't want to hear you. You're fucking woke. Shut the fuck up, right? That's how they campaigned during the campaign, and that's part of the reason why they fucking lost. Now, they make it seem like these groups that are firmly within the Democratic Party's ecosystem, like these groups that the Democratic Party relies on and their own base of support, like, 65-year-old Deborahs and Barbaras who are actively saying, please fight back against the Trump administration. We're scared. What the fuck? They're calling them, pro-Palestinian advocates at this point. They're treating them in the same way that they did people who were like understandably angry that the Democrats wouldn't do anything. Like, they are actively shitting on their own base at this point, like the entirety of their base, not even the activist part of their base, not even like the progressive part of their base, not even the young part of their base, the entirety of it. Once you're yelling at like 55-year-old moms and 65-year-old grandmas for telling you like do something, anything against the Trump administration, you're done. You have no support. You have no basic support whatsoever. You can't fucking treat every single person like they are, climate justice, sunrise movement protesters. You shouldn't treat them that way either. But the Democrats have gone far too long mistreating its own base of support, the most active part of their base, and all of these grassroots movements with so much ire, with so much disdain. And now they're doing that to, like, liberal ass grandma, MSNBC voters, MSNBC watchers. It's crazy. They are fucking disgusting.
Democratic voters feel, get this, the plurality of Democratic voters disapprove of Democrats in Congress at 49%, and just 40.
Yeah, they want a fighter. Democrats want a fighter. They've always wanted a fighter. Anyone that has told you on television they do not want a fighter, that the Dems actually don't want to fight. They want someone who will capitulate and find the reasonable middle ground, is a fucking moron. Democratic voters have always wanted a fighter. There's no better living, breathing, microcosmic example of this than me going on the Pod Johns and basically saying the exact same things that I always say, but in front of an audience that seemingly had never heard this perspective before, where they were like, oh my God, I didn't fucking realize that there was like a different way possible. Like there was some different serious commentary, serious criticisms launched against Democrats that I agree with. They were shocked because they've been kept captive almost by MSNBC. It's truly alarming.
Percent approve. Horrible. Oh my goodness gracious, you just can't get worse than these numbers.
And this is the number right here really driving all of this. If Democratic voters have turned on Democrats in Congress and the Democratic Party, that's what puts the numbers at historic lows.
I was one of those people who didn't know what was possible or what I was missing because no one on the liberal side ever talked about it. Well, I'm glad you're here now. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're seeing that we're not like fucking scary monsters in the way that like liberals actively present us. That's the other side of this. Not the Pod Johns. They're fine. But liberal content creators out there, even in independent media on YouTube and whatnot, who basically spend all of their time shitting on people like myself, shitting on people to the left of them. And the reason why they do that is because they want to do poison welling. Okay? I mean, they want to well poison. They want to poison the well. They want to poison the well before you actually ever, on accident, reach my commentary, so that whenever you come in here, you don't have any sort of like charitability. You don't have any sort of charitability to the positions that I'm advocating for, and you immediately see me as like a hostile figure. Yeah, well, the poison the well. Yeah, I fucked it up. I really appreciate your viewpoint. I always thought some of their takes were weird and weren't as angry as I was at things, and I thought I was just wrong. Poison Wellington.
Lows. What is it they want to be seeing, these voters?
What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. They don't like what's coming out of some of those Senate Democrats like Chuck Schumer, because take a look at the direction of the party. Democratic voters on Democrats in Congress doing too little to oppose Donald Trump. Look at this, 77% should stay principled, even if it means nothing gets done in Washington, D.C. 60.
Like, this is virtually the entirety of the Democratic base of support, like the overwhelming majority, the super majority of the Democratic base of support, actively advocating for things that I've been saying and yelling about for fucking years. Get to work, Democrats, right? And the Dems are just going, la, 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 I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Shut the fuck up. The level of disdain and the level of disgust that they have for their entire base, not just like select few parts of their base, but the entirety of their base, is alarming. You work for us, you fucking animals. You work for us. We don't work for you. You work for us. That's why I get so angry at liberals who even come in here now and say, oh, aren't you worried about your decisions now? Kamala would never do this. It's like, dude, you are such a fucking moron. Democracy is not about team sports. You got to vote for one team over the other because the one team is going to be marginally better than the other. That's not how democracy is supposed to work. Democracy is about extracting concessions from your elected representatives. Okay? It's not team sports. What the fuck is wrong with you? the notion that like it's not, they didn't lose on their own merits or lack thereof, and it was actually because the voters failed the party, not the party failed the voters, is so insanely backwards. It's so twisted. It's so fucked up. And these are supposed to be the educated voters who are, who at least statistically have like a college education. They read the newspaper, right? They don't believe in fake news. Like, these are the liberals. And they've destroyed their brain over and over. They're smoothing out their brain by watching too much MSNBC. Holy fuck.
65%. And this 65% is such a difference from where we were in 2017 at this point, when just 33% of Democrats say this should stay principled, compared to 59% who said they want to compromise. Democrats do not want compromise at this point. They want a fighter. They want to go into the ring like Muhammad Ali did against Sonny Liston. They want to take down the Republicans. They do not want this compromise anymore. They want to be more like Republicans, get up to that stage and fight. And right now they feel like their leaders in Congress are simply not doing so. And that is why their approval rating for congressional Democrats is at an all-time low, even among Democrats with more disapproving than approving.
Yeah, it seems that the Senate Democrats, some of them are banking on the idea that there is still a political middle, as it were. We will see. We will see.
Well, we will see if there's a political middle, but at this point, count me skeptical that that is at least what the Democratic base wants at this point. It's going to be very interesting, John, to see moving forward whether or not there are any repercussions come 2026, because I bet there may be some coming.
Harry M., thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Sarah?
I feel like the most shocking part of that was how you dipped down and you were able to get back up without hearing any creaking or cracking. Nice to.
Yeah, here. Also, this is the other side of the story. Here, I'm going to give you that too. This is another example of this, hugging the middle, moderation, and hugging and kissing right-wing fascists. It doesn't work. Gavin Newsom wants to be president, okay? So what did he do? He set up a podcast. He heard that, like, podcasts are so important for winning elections. Guess what, dude? Here's new data on the reaction to Gavin Newsom's new podcast. Favorability amongst liberals has declined from 40% to 30%. While some Republicans agree with the stances, they overwhelmingly viewed him as insincere, calling him fake and pandering. His net favorability went from +4 to a -6 to a 10-point swing in the wrong direction. Only 13% of voters had an improved perception of him, and only 1 in 5 said the podcast made them want to tune in for more. It doesn't even work in the sphere of podcasting. And Democrats are so one note on this, like, let's hug and kiss the middle. Let's find this, like, reasonable moderate between fucking Steve Bannon and Gavin Newsom that they even fail at podcasting. I don't understand what these guys are doing. It feels like they just look to some of the most historically unpopular figures like Kyrsten Sinema or Joe Manchin within the Democratic Party, and they're like, we need to be more like that. Why? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like, you're at this point, it's just a podcast, right? It's just a podcast. You want to win an election, don't you? You want to win elections. You want to fucking have a successful podcast. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever to behave like this, to operate like this. It doesn't make sense at all. Jesus Christ. They're eroding. Looks like Democrats are saying we don't want to hug the middle. New NPC poll shows 2-1 Democratic leaders to fight back, even if it means partisan gridlock. It is funny to me, though. Like, they are at the very least honest, it seems. They are at the very least honest. Like, the Democrats seemingly are intellectually and morally consistent on this, where they're like, yeah, even if my podcast fucking fails, I still don't care. I'm still going to abide by this, like, weird...
These images.
I'm still going to abide by this weird ass attitude that there is some semblance of like if I were to advocate for the moderate middle, like, then magically someday people will come to terms with what I'm doing.
Are one of the reasons that Donald Trump's approval rating is tied with his highest approval rating ever, according to this NBC poll. Look at the numbers. Trump's approval rating is 47%. That's higher. I know that you might say more people disapprove, but that's always the way it is if you ask a Democrat about a Democratic president or a Republican president. But that's a really good number, an approval rating of almost 50%.
And 4 years ago, his first term, he was at 40% at this point. This is so significant. They asked people if we're on the right track in November. 25% said yes. Now they're asking people, are we on the right track as a country? 44% said yes. This is pretty astounding.
But not good when it comes to the Democratic Party right now.
That's the highest one.
Dems are partnering with more creators, though some worry about an over-reliance on the same friendly/safe group. Dems are so afraid of doing or saying any wrong thing, said Olivia Giuliana, who has not been invited to any creator events since the election. Who are they going to sign off on? Who are they going to work with? They're trying to do it themselves, too. That's the other side. Dude, that's so funny that fucking Olivia Giuliana is not considered safe enough. That's amazing. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, God. David Pacman. Yeah. Brian Tyler Cohen. David Pacman. The problem is, maybe not David, but like Brian is probably fucking actively criticizing them too. Midas Touch. Midas Touch is like a liberal safe territory. I mean, this stuff is so bad too. Like this has 100 and dude.
All right.
Dude,
now that
what the fuck? This also has 128 likes. Like it's so ass. If you're 800 years old, you should not be making TikToks. I mean, you shouldn't even be in Congress, in my opinion. I'm sorry. There's a collection of 47 content creators and staff are involved in the Democratic Strategic Communications Committee's efforts, said of the party's 47 senators, including 2 independent who caucus with the Democrats. The Senate, the Booker chaired SCC, is driving the creator-focused work. Booker, an early adopter of Twitter and now a fan of selfie-style videos, said he approached Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Oh, my God. There's 2 categories in my analysis. Whenever I look at the actions of the party, I look at 2 categories. Is like, is this malicious and they are controlled opposition? Or is this because they're fucking stupid? This, to me, is the fucking stupid camp. This is not like malicious controlled opposition camp. This is fucking stupid camp. In most circumstances, it's both, but this is like an entirely fucking stupid camp decision. Like they want to do something, but they're too stupid to figure it out. That's what this is. They want to do something. They saw the podcast popping off, tried to warn people as much as I fucking could in this entire process. Mainstream media was coming out and interviewing me like, oh, who's the Joe Rogan of the left? You're the Joe Rogan of the left. And I kept saying, you can't podcast your way out of this problem. You can't podcast your way out of this problem. The party has to change its policies. The party has to communicate earnestly about changing people's material conditions for the better. And they were like, okay, nope, we're going to try to podcast our way out of this problem. Good luck. Oh my God. Like, even if you remove politics from the equation and think about this on pure marketing terms, it makes no sense to not try to understand what your audience wants from you. Elon has officially lost the perverts who get scammed by fake Jennifer Aniston accounts constituency. Oh shit.
Elon poor again. Mappa. Or make Elon poor already. Mappa.
Why is this hermit so angry at Elon Musk?
Make Elon poor again. Mappa.
That's amazing. Young Chomsky. Yeah, that's Noam Chomsky. He's also taking note from the Democratic Party's ambitious TikTok-oriented messaging focus and has decided to change the medium in which he presents himself. He's decided to go on TikTok himself and start doing these quippy, short statements. It's cool. Yeah. Booker says he sees his role as SCC chair as encouraging his colleagues to take the energy they'd bring to a town hall and instead put it on a digital platform. Calling the talk the anatomy of virality, he pointed out how Republicans were able to get their message, whether it was Joe Biden tripping or falling or Ted Cruz going on a rant in front of voters while Democrats were not. Oh, normally senators don't film. By the way, look at this. This entire article has clips of the Democrats attempting to do this, and then the analytics right here demonstrate that fucking failure. Okay? It's not that people can't hear you because you're not directly reaching out to them. It's because people don't like your message, because people don't believe you. People don't believe that you have their best interest in mind. And why should they believe that? You spend every fucking election cycle complaining about how people have to vote for you or else all hell will break loose. And when you're in the minority party, you have some tools at your disposal. You have some tools at your disposal to resist against the Trump administration, and you throw those tools aside and you spit on the face of your fucking voters. All you're good for is begging for fucking donations, man. It's disgusting. Why would people ever defend you? Why would people ever vote for you again? You're so bad. You're so bad at your fucking job. I can't believe that we spend any time on how genuinely awful the Democrats have been pre-election cycle, post-election cycle, when the Trump administration is gutting the administrative state, when they're doing fascist-ass bullshit, violating the last bastion of a constitutional democracy with checks and balances. They're just destroying the judiciary. And Democrats are so incompetent that, like, I have to sit here and be like, do something. Fucking do anything. Oh, my God. While the videos did draw attention from the right, many Democrats, including Congress, questioned whether it was a smart move. Collaborations, cross-posts, and influencer row. Senators participated in a live stream with Pod Save America while opposing the nomination of Office of the Management Budget Director Russell Vought, and they made videos with creators virtually and in person during the budget vote-orama. House Democrats have also welcomed creators to the Capitol, where they've interviewed lawmakers alongside traditional reporters. In one such instance, at a news conference on Medicaid, a clip of Jasmine Crockett went viral for what her message to us would be. Democrats seem to be really leaning into profanity. Yeah. They're doing TikTok dances, dude. Oh, God. They literally didn't understand that people resent that shit, okay? Americans hated nurses doing TikTok dances during COVID. Do you understand? Nurses that were risking their fucking lives every day to make sure that people weren't dying. Americans despise that shit. They literally were like, oh, fuck, why the fuck are you dancing? How dare you dance? It's COVID time and you're over here dancing. Now the one group of people that are the least popular people in America are running around and doing TikTok dances. What the hell are they doing? Yeah, this is a great question. Do you think Bernie was popular on the internet because he was doing TikTok dances, or was it because he was saying policies young people were excited by? They will never change, man. No, I know. Yeah, Bernie famously is a big TikTok dancer. That's why they like him so much. Bernie's entire existence and his overwhelming popularity across the board, across party lines, unironically destroys this argument in its entirety, but they just cannot fucking admit that, because that would mean admitting ideological defeat. These guys are zealots, okay? They are loyalists. They believe in third-way neoliberalism through and through. That's it. That's the only thing they believe in. They don't care about anything else. They just want to maintain that project. I can scream from the rooftops at every single Democratic representative to just do Bernie. Just fake it. Just do Bernie. Just do Bernie. Just do Bernie. And that's it. Yeah.
Angela,
I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept.
I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Here's to the great Angela Davis.
Sick, man. Sick. You're really cooking with that one. Thank you. Wow, that one banged. When every other person in the caucus is 850 years old, they look at that and they go, well, you know, he's a handsome man. He's a handsome young boy. For the joint session, Democrats brought 40 creators in to meet with more than 150 members. Sully Jessica Wu, an influencer known as Bento Box Queen, who built an audience of millions while making lunch for her daughters, was invited to the Capitol by Chorus, a new collective that supports creators advocating for democratic causes and policies. She's the influencer behind the viral Choose Your Fighter video. That's who made that video? The Choose Your Fighter video? Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Ugh. I don't know anything about this influencer. I know the video that they're talking about. You know what? Let's watch it. Let's watch that fucking video. Let's watch that video. Does anyone have a link to it? Does anyone have a link to it? Oh, no. HUD. I broke up with Sleep last night, and I'm dating Coffee this morning. I appreciate her warmth and stimulating company. Sleep and I broke up. I'm dating Coffee now. She is hot. Sleep and I broke up. I'm dating Coffee now. She is hot. Unfortunately, it happened again. Sleep and I broke up. I'm back with Coffee. I thought I told you. Sleep and I broke up. I'm dating Coffee now. She is hot. I had another fight with Sleep. We broke up again, so I'm back with Coffee now. She is hot. A far, far more worthy love than Coffee. Give me the OG one. Here it is. Oh, yeah. Here. Okay, dude, take a week off, you dumb fuck. You got me. You got me. You got me good, dude. Thanks. I should perma you right now. You fucking idiot. Jesus Christ, that shit pisses me off so much. I'm just going to keep running this on repeat. Like, this is the thing that people don't understand. Look. Representative Catherine Clark, House Minority Whip, Massachusetts 5th Congressional District, not into hair dye. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. Don't try to make these people into fucking influencers. I don't give a fuck. The only reason why people would care about their personal background of these people and like develop parasocial relationships with them is if they like what they're advocating for and believe that they're earnestly on board with making their lives better. That's it. Bernie Sanders. Okay, this one's even worse. 6-month subscriber. Take the perma. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be perma banning every single person that tries to poop sock going forward. Yeah, poop socks are perma now. Public defender attorney, not a morning person. Like, no one. This is aping Trump, to be honest, the liberal version. Him going on talking about whatever the fuck. Yes, but the problem is, there's two problems there. One, Trump is a fucking television personality. He already had like an audience. He already had a level of prominence. And he's telegenic. And not only that, but he tapped into the things that he successfully perceived as his base caring about, even if he personally doesn't care about them. Like he's so actively, he talks about how he talks about trans people all the time now, right? All the fucking time. If you recall, a couple years prior, even when he was running for president in 2016, he was like pro-trans, openly pro-trans. A couple years ago, when he announced his candidacy, he kept saying, yeah, you guys care about trans people a lot. You care about it more than you care about tax cuts. Like, he knows what his base wants, and he responds to it. He gives them what his base wants, even if it's fucking red meat. He'll give his base the red meat that they want. And that creates this cycle where he's both charismatic and telegenic enough, but also simultaneously he's like offering things to his base of support. You cannot create popularity like this. It just doesn't work that way. Okay? It doesn't work that way. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm a Trekkie for AOC. Like, if they did this video, not in this cringe ass way where like it's like a choose your fighter style situation, but instead, if they were like, here, I'm going to introduce you to these congresspersons, and we're going to talk about the top 3 policies that they are going to advocate for the rest of their fucking lives, okay, until the cows come home. This would be a more impactful video. It sounds nerdy, but that's what people care about. Nobody gives a fuck what your favorite TV show is. You know what I mean? Hates balloons. Like, oh, man, I hate balloons too. Now I feel so close to this person. Like, that's not how this goes. Play the clip, boss. We disavow. What is this? Is this another poop sock?
Good afternoon, Senator Tillis.
Okay, well, no, I'm not going to play this again. No one will watch it either? No, you're wrong. Dude, I have 40,000 people in here every fucking day. What are you talking about? Do I talk about, like, the personalities behind the fucking things? Or do I talk about the policies and their impact on your fucking lives? My own personality or my own parasocial shit comes after. It's secondary to the causes that I advocate for. That's what's most significant. What do you mean? I'm not even a fucking congressperson either. There are living, breathing examples of this, like Bernie Sanders, Claudia Sheinbaum. You'd have 50K if you told us which House representatives hate balloons. Yeah. Oy, oy, oy. At first, Wu said the response to the fighter video was positive. Feedback focused on girl power, fighting for her audience, which is largely made up of younger women. But then it went to the wrong side. She said she didn't mind, though, because she would like to interview Trump and give him a hug, because I feel like he really needed that growing up. Oh, my God. The only people who think that video is cringy are older people that don't do TikToks, Wu said. Gen Z people in my comments are like, love it. They think it was just another video. They probably even scrolled. They didn't even think twice. then the message failed. Like, no disrespect to this content creator, okay? No disrespect to this content creator. Like, this is still entirely the fault of the Democratic Party. Going to a safe influencer, safe because they don't fully, they're not fully invested in the American political machine and how to win elections and whatnot. It's their cowardice that is causing them to develop results like this one that come across as insanely cringy to people who do care about this shit. Oh my God. Calm down. David Graeber on the extreme center. People need to understand that this is why they will never learn the lessons you want from them. They only want to win with neoliberalism. 3 minutes.
The kind of politics we have now.
Rest in power, David Graeber on the extreme center.
Where the left is represented by this kind of Obama-Macron-style centrism, where you're both for the market and for bureaucracy at the same time. You know, it's kind of horrible, right? The only possible appeal of that kind of politics is, well, at least they're not Nazis, right? So what they want is the left to be this kind of mishmash of bureaucratic market centrism and the right to be outright fascist. To set the ball rolling in an actual left direction will make that centrism look like utterly unappealing.
Yes.
And friends, sometimes they talk about...
Yes. That's the reason why they're fucking terrified of people like Bernie and why they will never concede to left populism. Because left populism, especially when it is done by an earnest communicator with a lifetime of moving the needle in that direction, a lifetime of advocacy, makes someone like Hillary Clinton look like the morally bankrupt, the morally bankrupt parasite that she is, okay? In the eyes of the constituents, even a constituency that is so, that gets their notes entirely from MSNBC, because that's what the Democratic primary base is. Average people don't go out and vote in the primaries, unfortunately. They don't know that primaries are happening. I know this from fucking door knocking, okay? They just don't know. They don't know that primaries are happening. They don't know that it's important. They like Bernie. They just don't even think about voting in the primaries. In the general, on the other hand, a lot more people come out and vote. Base in the primaries is just like the MSNBC watchers, the New York Times readers, the people that take their notes from people that tell them this is the most electable candidate. That's why you have to vote for him. They don't have any interest in policy. They just simply want to defeat the Republicans. They're the Democratic Party loyalists, okay? The diehard people. The people that are now yelling at the Democrats, by the way. That's important to understand. And those guys would 100% lend their support to a Bernie figure. They would 100% lend their support to whoever the fucking Democrat is. They are a lock. They are the definitely going to vote for the Democratic Party base of support. And yet that base consistently votes for centrists because the centrist TV channels tell them you have to vote for a centrist. The other guy is bad. The other guy is bad. This is at the heart of the problem. The reason why there's so much institutional resentment towards the Bernie Sanders style figure from establishment Democrats is because if anyone was being honest enough, if the media was being honest about this stuff, and they propped up Bernie in the same way they try to make fucking brat happen for Kamala Harris, for example, or even Joe Biden when they claimed that he wasn't fucking brain dead, right? Like the amount of support that he got from mainstream media in general that he even then thought wasn't enough. Like if they did that, okay, if they fucking did that for Bernie, it's over. Why the fuck would anybody vote for the shittier diet version of Bernie? They wouldn't. Just like people actively chose to vote for the real thing with the Republican Party and not the diet version of the Republican Party. This is the problem with centrism. You don't stand for anything, so you fall for everything. And you, at this point, are falling for fascism. You are allowing the administration to completely destroy what remains of like our civil liberties. Even in general, 30% of people voted for Kamala, 31% voted for Trump, and 39% didn't vote. And of those who voted, about 50% never heard any Dem messaging seen by Google results after the election. Dem messaging sucks. It's not just that the messaging sucks. It's what the message sucks. The message itself sucks because the policies suck. And the policies suck because these guys are literally fucking zealots. They are market fundamentalists. They have an undying loyalty. They have fealty towards the markets. They have fealty towards neoliberalism. That's it. That is what the problem is. It's fucking nutty how much they truly believe their own shit. They truly believe it, and they don't even care if people find it to be unpopular. They're like, no, that's why we're going to win in the margins by saying we're marginally better than the opposition. We're not fascists. They are. Yeah, the Dems are the free market fedayeen. Absolutely. And the existence of like a real left vision kind of breaks that in the minds of a lot of people, where they go, whoa, 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 a better future is possible? Holy shit. You can have a person truly advocate for policies that I think will immediately improve the shitty conditions that I experience on a day-to-day basis. What the hell? That's wild. I like that. Can we get more of that, please? That is the most terrifying prospect for the Democrats. If the Democrats and their base demanded them to actually follow through on these policies and not simply lie to them and say that they're just like marginally better than the Republicans, then they have to actually do work. And doing work for the left party, okay, not saying that the liberals are leftists, but it is the party that is to the left of the Republican Party, which is the far right party, right? But that is the party to the right, would mean doing things that are inherently anti-capitalist. The American left party, being the liberals, the Democratic Party, implies that if they were to actually move policy leftward, they would have to do things that are anti-capitalist. And I don't mean like seize the means of production. I mean anti-capitalist as in against the immediate interests of capital and its short-term profit-seeking behaviors, okay? That's what regulations are. Regulations are inherently anti-capitalist. Regulations and social safety nets are inherently anti-capitalist. Redistributive policies are anti-capitalist. Labor protections are anti-capitalist. Not to say that they are socialist, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just simply saying that all of these policies that the Democrats lie about when they want to win your support, those are all inherently against corporate interests. But because they are also backed by the same corporate structure, they cannot fuck you on those policies. They hate it. That's why they constantly find a rotating villain in the party. That's it. Historically speaking, any sort of initiative that is marginally to the left of what is permitted by American corporations will immediately be destroyed by a member inside of the Democratic Party. This creates chaos within the Democratic Party. Hasan, you need to read more theory. You're right. Instead of explaining to people the American duopoly, I should be talking about how it is a bourgeois system that benefits the capital owners only, and that is precisely the reason why neither of these two parties in the current duopoly structure that we have are not actually going to defend the interests of the working class. Oh, wait, I did do that, actually. I just used simpler terms because I'm not a fucking moron. Shut the fuck up. This is the one thing I'm good at, okay? Why the fuck do you think you know how to do this? Then you do it. Do it on your own. God damn, dude. No, you need to go back to Hegel. You need to explain master-slave dynamics, please. If you can't understand dialectical thought, you can't understand Marxism. Shut the fuck up! Shut up! You fucking nerd! You don't know anything!
The extreme center, and I think that's a fitting phrase. It strikes me that what's called the moderates are the most immoderate people possible. And the reason why they're so uncompromising, I think, is because they realize they don't have a lot of positive arguments. They're not really for anything.
Exactly.
And somebody like Obama, the reason he worked was because he looked like the kind of guy who would have a vision. He acted like a visionary. He had the intonation. He had the way of standing and looking into the distance like he really believed in something. And it shows you something about just how much visionary politics has been killed. It didn't even seem to occur to people to ask what his vision actually was, right? Because it turns out, insofar as he had a vision, his vision was not to have a vision. You know, he believed in pragmatism and compromise and so forth. And that's what the center has been reduced to. It's become this pure set of performative symbols. And at the same time, you get to feel morally superior, which is ultimately what
you are a bad example when you get that mad. You are way too dysregulated. Okay.
What centrism, what liberal centrism is all about, is the ability to feel better than other people. So there is a kind of a symbiosis whereby The right wing pretend to be stupid, like George Bush II sort of perfected this. Like, I'll act like a yokel. All of the liberals will make fun of me as an idiot. Everybody who resents the sort of cultural elite for having monopolized all the good jobs will look at them sneering at me and say, yeah, I bet those guys feel the same way about me as they feel about Bush. I'll vote for Bush. Ha ha ha, stick it to him, right? You know, that shtick, Trump is just doing it in a more extreme version of the same thing. Johnson's doing the same thing. You know, you act like an idiot, the people who are the sort of educated elite make fun of you, and it works. Now, who's really the idiot, right? People keep falling for the same stupid trick over and over and over again. There's a symbiotic relationship between these centrists who are just sort of sneering elitists and these guys who are the scam artists who pretend to be yokels, who pretend to be idiots, or pretend to be fascists. They're not even real fascists. They're kind of phony fascists. They are trying to set up a situation where those are the only two viable political choices because they both feed off and complement one another.
Oh, seems like he's giving too much credit to Trump. He really is an idiot. Yeah, but that works. That works in his favor. Because the smart version of Trump is J.D. Vance. Look at his favorabilities. He sucks. Trump being an idiot who is good at reading the room makes him this dangerous figure for an audience as stupid as the American voters, okay? He's stupid. He is relatable despite being a billionaire. Why? Because he behaves in the same exact way that the average American thinks they would behave if they fucking had that much money and power. That's it. In any case, this is where we're at. A Democratic content creator and strategist, Olivia Giuliano, saw a shift in Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries' approach after he met with a small group of content creators at the DNC in August. Jeffries sat next to Giuliano during the conversation and took detailed notes as he grilled the group, which also included high-profile political influencers Jack Schlossberg and Carlos Eduardo Espina about what's driving the conversation online. What concerns? They didn't ask me to fucking be a part of this conversation. I wonder why. Bro, listen, no disrespect to anybody involved, like Jack Schlossberg or Carlos Eduardo Espina. Okay, I think Carlos is good in general. I haven't really seen any of his work, but like, you know, maybe you should listen to a broad, more diverse set of ideas. Okay, he has since upped his engagement on various platforms and made recent appearances. Oh my god, oh my god.
Here in the office, just finished up a telephone town hall meeting.
I can't even look at this. Oh my god, it's so bad. Senator Chuck Schumer slams Trump and Elon Musk in my interview with him. John Faza, the Gen Z analyst, said that while there's certainly a place for the sort of entrenched Democratic and aligned activists, the ecosystem needs to be broadened to include creators who are typically not talking about politics and might not be aligned with one party or another. She praised the inclusion of more of some non-political creators in this joint session. So here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. I agree. It's not just about immediately political content creators that, like, it's not the Daily Wires of the world that have created this robust right ecosystem. It's actually the Theo Vaughns and the Joe Rogans, even though Joe Rogan is now firmly in the right, and the Nelk boys, even though they're now also firmly in the right. Like, when they first started and they were gaining prominence, the Barstools of the world, these places were not a part of the Republican media machine. They were not. Harry Sisson, no disrespect, okay, is a part of the DNC machine in the eyes of the audience. That level, like, any sort of access, giving any sort of access to Harry in that regard is basically the same cycle and the same audience that you are captivating. You're not organically building a movement, okay? There needs to be cross-pollination across apolitical places and apolitical spaces, but there isn't. There is none of that. This one Mason posted of you is better than the entire last 12 months of press from Dems combined. Yeah, this is like this meme in and of itself.
I really think that this liberal world order needs to be thrown away completely, and I think Christian nationalism would be good.
Get the fuck back to your seat. Get the fuck back to your seat. Women should be seen and not heard. Why are you here? Frolicking about. Why are you here and not barefoot and pregnant in your home in the kitchen serving your man? Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to cameras? Are you a witch? Are you a witch? Shoulders uncovered? Frolicking about like a harlot? What is this? Fuck you mean you want Christian nationalism?
I actually think
Anyway, that's
that
I hate this song so much. I think Hope Core edits bang. In any case, this I think is going to be a failure. This is a failure so far. If you want to win support from the youth again, you cannot do stuff like this.
This is
Oh no. Ay ay ay.
the ranking Rizzler on appropriations, serving Connecticut's 3rd District. It's time to enter your dark academia Congress era. All right, besties. House appropriation is the money moves in Congress. We are not chasing the bag. We are the bag.
Bro, this is a humiliation ritual. That's crazy. This is a humiliation ritual. We got old white ladies. What the hell is going on, man? Oh my God. This lady should never do this. I'm sorry. You should never do this. This is like elder abuse. What the fuck?
Democrats are making life smoother through government funding. It's giving, skibbity. So Sigma main
It's giving skibbity. Hey, yo.
character energy. But Republicans' Project 2025 is mad sus. Eliminating the Department of Education? Negative aura points. Basically, the biggest phantom tax on the environment, on your education, and your rights. Big L posting it online, buddy. Democrats understood the assignment, but go off. See how I keep you informed? Very cutesy, very demure.
Someone in the chat said, we're all getting sent to work camps. I mean, I'll be honest. It's probably better than rewatching this video. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Perhaps getting sent to work camps at gunpoint is not worse than having to relive that experience over and over again. Yeah, here is an example of someone. Here's an example of someone doing.
Y como este, y también este comentario.
This is both better TikTok wise, and also directly is talking about policies. Okay, I suspect that it is about making college tuition free.
A todas las y los jóvenes y los universitarios y las universitarias, recuerden que estamos trabajando para ustedes durante muchos años, muchísimos años, prácticamente 36 años. No se construyeron universidades.
Snappy Apples 5. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Oh, hey, yo, don't pause her. I mean, bro, I don't speak Spanish. What do you want me to do? Ask about Mahmoud Khalil. Oh, see, we were talking about what the Democrats were doing, and I forgot to mention this.